Now let's talk about the India-US trade deal. The clock is ticking. Both sides are racing against time. Trump had set a deadline, the 8th of July. If the deal is not done by then, a new round of tariffs would kick in. And the US president has some bold expectations. He wants a deal with zero tariffs.
Very hard to sell into India. And they've offered us a deal where basically they're willing to literally charge us no tariff.
Vice President J.D. Vance met with Prime Minister Narendra Modi this week, and India's top trade negotiator is heading to D.C.
Earlier this week, Piyush Goyal was in Washington, D.C. He's India's Commerce Minister. He's the one who has been negotiating with Trump's team, and he met them again this week. So what came out of it? Are we close to a deal?
In a rapidly shifting global landscape, the India-US trade relationship stands at a pivotal juncture. With negotiation intensifying and geopolitical dynamics evolving, understanding the intricacies of this partnership is more crucial than ever. Hey investors, welcome back to another episode of vishalvealthview. In today's video, we'll delve into the current state of India-US trade, the specific of ongoing trade deal, the influence of US-China tension and Taiwan's geopolitical significance on US-India trade deal, and the impact on Indian companies. So without wasting much time, let's start this episode. India and US have cultivated a robust trade relationship over the years. In FY 24-25, the bilateral trade reached approximately $131 billion, with India enjoying a trade surplus of over $41 billion. However, this relationship hasn't been without its challenges. The US has often highlighted its trade deficit with India, but recent analysis suggests more nuanced picture. When considering services, royalties, and other economic interaction, the US reportedly benefits significantly with an estimate of hidden surplus of about 80 to 85 billion US dollar annually. Despite these complexities, both nations recognize the mutual benefits of strengthening their trade ties, especially in the face of global uncertainties and shifting alliances. Amid the global trade tension, India and the US are working diligently to finalize a multi-phase trade agreement. The initial phase aims to be completed before July, coinciding with the end of 90-day reciprocal tariffs pause. Key elements of proposed trade deal will include tariff reduction. India has offered to reduce tariff to zero on 60% of tariff lines and provide preferential access to nearly 90% of US imports. Along with that, there are changes in government procurement as well. India is considering opening parts of its government procurement market valued at approximately $700 to $750 billion annually to foreign companies, including US firms. Then comes technology and defense collaboration. The deal includes cooperation in critical sectors like semiconductors, defense, and clean energy, aligning both nations' strategic interests. These negotiations reflect a concerted efforts to deepen economic ties and foster a more resilient and diversified trade partnership. The backdrop of US-China tension significantly influences the India-US trade dynamics. The ongoing trade war and the concerns over China's stance on Taiwan have prompted the US to seek alternative trade partners and supply chains. India emerges as a strategic ally in this context, offering a domestic framework, a vast market, and a growing manufacturing base. The US's interest in collaborating with India on semiconductors and critical technologies underscores this shift. Furthermore, the US recent imposition of 26% tariff on Indian imports has added urgency to the negotiations, with both sides aiming to mitigate potential economic disruptions. This evolving geopolitical landscape presents both challenges and opportunities for India as it navigates its role in the global stage. A potential trade deal holds significant implications for various Indian industries. Now, the winners may spread across multiple sectors, starting with IT and services. Companies like TCS and Infosys stand to benefit from enhanced access to the US market and potential collaboration in digital service. However, they are also facing a headwind because of the entire AI fiasco that's coming into picture. The second sector that might be a potential winner is pharmaceuticals. Firms such as Sun Pharma and Dr. Reddy Laboratories could see an increased export due to reduced tariff and streamlined regulatory process. Then comes the bread and butter, the aerospace and defense collaboration. Collaborations with US counterparts may bolster companies like HAL, Bharat Forge, leading to technology transfer and joint ventures. Who will be the losers in this entire trade deal? A major loser, or the major segment that will be losing money, is going to be agriculture. Indian farmers express concern over influx of US agriculture products, fearing competition and price pressure. Then there is MSMEs. Increased competition from US firms in sectors like manufacturing and retail could challenge domestic small and medium enterprises. Navigating these shifts will require strategic planning and support to ensure that benefits of the trade deals are equitably distributed across sectors. Apologies for the interruption, investor, but this is the time where you like this video because it helps promote this video to reach to more users, and I give you a demo about Nifty GPT. So now you can import your portfolio in Nifty GPT that you have in Grow. So you can export your holdings from Grow, choose your file over here, and all of your holdings would be imported and would be accessible to Nifty GPT, and it will be intelligent enough to answer any question that you ask for it. So for example, if I ask about a real world event, that how will US tariff impact my investment? So you can use Nifty GPT to understand what are the risks involved in your investment for any real world event that's happening. Now let's try to understand what role does US-China trade war has to play in all of this. Now China is a regional power in Asian continent, and China's influence in South Asia is both profound and multifaceted. It impacts both geopolitics and domestic politics. Now we have to understand China has been in an expansive mode both in South China Sea and in Asian continent. The China-Pakistan alliance is a cornerstone of Beijing's South Asian strategy. This partnership includes economic, military, and strategic dimensions. There is military collaboration between these two countries. China supplies over 80% of Pakistan military equipment. They are like literally Chinese military right now. This includes advanced systems like J-10C fighter jets and HQ-9 air defense system. Along with that, there's a huge amount of economic investment as well. The CPEC corridor, a flagship project under China's Belt and Road Initiative, involves over $50 billion in investment, enhancing Pakistan's infrastructure and deepening economic ties. But we all know that these trade deals are just a debt trap for the companies. We have seen that in Nepal, we have seen that in Sri Lanka, and the next one is going to be Pakistan. Now, recent terror attacks in India have seen a usage of Chinese weaponry both in Northeast and Kashmir region. This not only showcased China's military exports but also allows Beijing to access performance of its equipment in real combat scenario, because China has not fought a war for a long period of time. The ongoing trade tension between US and China have prompted both nations to reassess their global partnership. India emerges as a pivotal player in this context. The need of economic realignment. As US-China trade relations soar, the US seeks to strengthen economic ties with India, viewing it as a viable alternative for its manufacturing needs. Along with that, it's a strategic partnership. India's growing defense and technological collaboration with the US are in part a response to China's assertive posturing in the region. While China supports Pakistan, it also maintains a significant trade relationship with India. And here comes the balancing act. With trade between India and China exceeding over $100 billion, you cannot have a direct conflict on the border with that country because it's going to affect their economy. That's why China uses Pakistan as a proxy to poke India and test out their weapons. After Belgaum terror attack and Operation Sindoor, China came out and openly supported Pakistan. This created questions in heads of policymakers in New Delhi because of the current trade dynamics between India and China. If there is a direct conflict between India and China, then this $100 billion trade will be the first casualty. That's something to worry about. That's it for today's episode, investor. I hope you enjoyed this video and find this episode useful. Do hit the like button because it helps YouTube algorithm to reach this video to more users, and subscribe to vishalvealthview.